As seen through Yahoo.com's answer of the differences between public schools and charter schools, under the heading Innovations, charter schools have the reputation of being more innovative, and this may or may not be true. Charter schools are often established with the idea that they will radically change the way in which children are educated, and that the red tape that inhibits real innovation in their counterpart schools will not be as much an issue for them. It is said by advocates that charter schools allow a latitude with their approach to education that many traditional public schools do not. Under the heading of funding, it says that charter schools exercise a certain autonomy not seen in most public school systems. And that means that if we look at the lower heading of choice, they have a choice whether or not to accept students. Students still need to be educated, but by public schools versus by charter schools. School choice is at the center of the charter school philosophy. Parents choose to send their children to charter schools. They don't attend the school by default because their neighborhood feeds into a predetermined school boundary. But if we look at accountability, they show that they've met their goals in a valid, measurable way in order to meet the conditions set down in their charter. These schools are accountable for their performance. But are they accountable in the same way that public schools are required? Their educational philosophy is a specific mission. The school sometimes has a different educational philosophy and focus than its traditional counterparts. Charter schools might have a focus on art, classical education, or a simply desire to inject a fresh perspective and new focus into the educational system. This helps in determining their autonomy. While their educational public schools incorporate elements of these same ideas in their mission, they are by nature large organizations that answer to the country, district, and state missives. It's completely different than a charter school, which has more freedom to do what they want with their students and their faculty. Well, I know from my older sister working in the Hartford Public School System and my days substituting in the Hartford Public School System that environment is getting a lot of flack. A lot of people think that they're not doing the best job, or other complaints that they have about the Hartford Public Schools. The Hartford Board of Education and Achievement First is thinking about getting a charter school. I have to say that while I know a little bit about charter schools, and now you do too, there's a lot to be desired about their hesitancy for getting one. Why would we get an additional school with different belief systems when we can just change up one of the schools that already exists? I understand that it may be difficult, but we can talk to these veteran teachers and say, listen, we know that scores aren't good or discipline isn't the best, and we need to change this so we can focus on the students' likes, we can focus on getting rid of the gangs and trying to expand into more positive outlets for these students. So when it says school board members are entrusted with making choices that affect educational opportunities for all Hartford students, in this article, we really need them to think about the choices of spending more money for a charter school or using the beliefs of a charter school for the Hartford schools. And yes, I do know from my research that private organizations can give money to charter schools more freely, but private organizations can spend more time helping out with the public schools in Hartford. And I think it's more tax write-off, or I'm not sure. That part, don't quote me on, I don't know. But let's help out Hartford because they need it and they need some positive reinforcement.